Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So tomorrow there will be an update. Those of you on console already have received this update since Tuesday. Before we cover the changes and improvements, let's discuss something that has not actually been mentioned but is going live with this update. The ability to see the two companions, the Feral Raptor and the Tamed Raptor, as icons in our buff bar. These are companions that you use for their equip bonuses right here. One will give you 3.75% awareness, it visually rounds up, per player in your party. You're giving yourself this along with then everybody else who uses this companion. And the other option is the Tamed Raptor, which gives you power instead of awareness, which is the companion that most people use, and it's one of the ones that damage dealers and healers rely on in endgame for their min-max builds. Because again, 3.75% times 5 is 18.75% stats. That is just massive compared to a normal companion which only gives 7.5%. No doubt those companions are best in slot, but it's very nice to see that we will be able to make sure that the other players are actually providing us the buff. Very oddly, it does not show the buff for yourself. If you're not in a party, you will not see that you gain the buff. A little bit odd, but I guess that's just how they want to do it. You can see if I run the Feral Raptor, I do not gain the Feral Raptor buff. I would think it would give me that, but okay, not. Because like Runic Aura, I'm gaining the Runic Aura benefit and I'm also gaining the icon. Same with the other player in the party, also is gaining Runic. So to visualize what those icons look like, this green shield icon here is the Feral Raptor. It's if somebody's using the one that gives everybody the awareness, and the tamed one right here is kind of the sword icon. Just there you see a little bit bigger. So if everybody's using, let's say, the Tamed Raptor, you should see that you gain 4 of these Raptor's instincts. It does lead me to question, are they going to return the Feral Raptor? The Feral Raptor gives awareness, and it was exclusive to a Zen promotion. So when you bought Zen during that time, you would receive this companion. So it was completely limited, and thus it's selling on the auction house for millions upon millions. Do not advised to obtain it. But this fix, or this adjustment, quality of life improvement, leads me to believe that they may potentially be returning this companion, and it would make sense. We're getting the Jubilee, there'll be a whole load of new sales and so on, and this companion is really good for training. When you're new to content and you're going to take excessive amounts of damage, this awareness, 18.75% total when everybody uses this companion, is massive for survivability. And yes, you can absolutely use both the Tamed and the Feral Raptor, and you can see like the other player then obtains the Feral buff and the Tamed Raptor buff. That would be, yeah, a whopping 37.5% stats just from 2 companions. Something I would still like them to add is, much like Runic Aura where you can see the icon, do the same for both Mystic Aura, which yet you do not see the icon, and the new pack tactics from the recent Ebon Riding Lizard. Both of which, no icons, so you're not sure if you're in, let's say, a random group, what the other, let's say, support or players are using, or you just always have to ask people what they're using. And you can't know for sure unless you check your stats and double check. And you may notice this bug with the Stronghold Unity, that when you load into a new instance, you may end up with double the amount of stacks, only for a few seconds before they expire. I would assume it actually works, but it's not really practical in any way. It would technically allow you then to get 9 times Masterwork buffs, 9 times Stronghold Unity. Your own one doesn't double when you go load a new instance, just everybody else in your party who runs it. But with that aside, let's move on to the patch notes and the other improvements that will be coming tomorrow for us on PC. Those of you on consoles already got this patch. These are the patch notes right here, and we have a heads up, a known issue, that the igneous skin from the new companion, the Minotaur mercenary, that will be dropping in the next lockbox. I will cover it in a video, open a bunch of those. But this Minotaur has the ability of igneous skin, which says it shows 1500 item level, instead of what it should be 750. Those of us on PC, seems it has been fixed on the preview server that should go live tomorrow to only give 750. It was never intended to have double the amount of item level. Would have made it interesting, would have made it maybe viable in certain builds, but as it stands, it's not very reliable, and I would take alternative, more permanent buffs than something that's only going to activate once every 30 seconds, lasting only 10 seconds. Proceeding onwards, we have some content and environment adjustments. Remove the loud audio effect from Spiteful Presence. That is the Blaspheme Assassins equip bonus power. Not too great again. Nothing I would recommend to use. But then within Gzemnid's Reliquary, that's the latest trial added with Module 25, a few adjustments. The Warlock Healer's Life Spark will now properly enter the combat arena, and you shouldn't encounter the bug where you get stuck in combat after beating the trial. And otherwise, some door bugs with Gzemnid and the Minotaur being able to be pulled out of the arena. Some pretty game-breaking stuff there, but if you do it from now on, it should just reset the instance. And for the standard version of Gzemnid, the Scorching Artifact Flamethrower damage has been reduced by 25%. There'll be no change in the master version. It'll still hit you like a truck if you fail to jump it or dodge it. With the trial Zariel's Challenge, again the same bug with the Soul Weaver's Life Spark sometimes not entering the combat arena. With combat and powers, we can see that there was an issue that caused the enemy fire field ability to occasionally do a lot more damage than intended. To be honest, I don't recall where that's from. Can let me know if you know in the comments. But in items and economy, an adjustment with the Spell Plague Caverns, shouldn't drop one of those ancient enchantments, and a bunch of artifact items you'll now be able to discard since they are no longer considered unique. All these yokes. The Shadar-kai Witch be added to collections. You get some points for it. Not that it's available at all. Potentially again in the future if they're making these adjustments. Some changes to the Jubilee event where the price of some items, including the Cyclops, has been reduced in the Renown, so a bit less grinding needed to obtain those. And finally some visual adjustments here, like the neck category, some of the Bragan Assassin's leathers, the Vanity Carpet of Flying, and then some settings with the gamma calibration. And then we have the Barbarian's Relentless Slash. It was causing like a red trail. Shouldn't do that anymore. And the Lizard Riders in Menzo, should properly animate with their leap attack. And that is about it for tomorrow's update. Again, pretty happy to see the addition of the icons for both the Feral and Tamed Raptor. You can see them again here. One's like a green shield, the other one's like a blue sword. So you'll easily be able to see that one person who's not using it, who says they are, when you're missing the stats you need for your build. Massive thank you again to all these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.